What's up, guys? Welcome to today's workout. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you do have one of our PJF extended length bands. Gray is going to be medium, black is going to be heavy. I'm going to show you also how to make it more scalable. First, I want to talk about why these bands produce so much better results than your average band. All right, so this is what I used to use, and there's a couple major problems. One, if I were to loop it around something and go to do a lateral resisted exercise, I don't even have enough room to step into this band, right? So lack of length, which also means lack of resistance scalability. So if I want to do a shoulder press, I literally can't even get it. Okay, maybe I can do a single shoulder press, but it's extremely heavy. There's one resistance, right? And then the other problem is after a couple months, this thing is going to break. That one kept breaking on my $100 million athletes. So I created a fabric band that is not going to break. But this one still had the same problem of not as much length. Then I was like, what if we just create a band that is over 6 feet tall? You can manipulate it to where it is extremely light for grandma, or it's extremely heavy for the NFL superstar. It's longer, which means the resistance is scalable, which means our results are going to be better. It's comfortable, it's not pulling on the skin, and it's durable. It's not going to snap like a lot of these other bands do. All right, so we're going to take our PJF extended length band. You can go gray or black on this one. Either one is going to work depending on your strength levels. I'm going to make sure it's below hip height. It could be ankle height, knee height, but just nothing above the hip. So I loop it around and then I loop it through itself. Pull it nice and tight and we're good to go. So this first one, we're going lateral change of direction. I want to bring in that rotational component. So I'm facing away from my anchor point, all right? I'm going to put this over my right shoulder, okay? Put your arm through, rotate towards my left shoulder, and now I'm wrapped up. If you did that the right way and you step out a little bit, it is pulling you this way towards your anchor point, all right? So now, if I want barely any tension, I'm scooting here, medium here. If I want max tension, I'm here, all right? But everybody's going to start with just a little bit of tension on the band. Now from here, I'm going right leg forward. So the leg closest to my anchor point, that leg is forward. And then I'm just gonna push out and I'm rotating the torso with it. So it's here. And notice it's a 1-2 landing. Another variation would be an actual hop. That's a great variation as well. For this first one though, I want you to do a 1-2 landing. So I'm left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left. And it's not just lateral, I'm getting that torso rotational component going as well. So I want to load up chest towards this right knee, and then when I push out, chest is towards this left knee, and it's just pulling me back in, all right? So now I can go different depths. I could start it high up. Another set, I could do it lower to where I have accountability with a hand touch. So I'm here to here, here to here, all right? I could go here to high, all right, here to high. Now I'm adding not only the horizontal component, but a little bit of vertical component to it as well, all right? So lots of different options with that one setup. Now, because we're attacking the fast twitch fibers and the central nervous system here, I don't need it to be very high rep. So I would normally start somebody, say 2 to 3 sets, 8 to 12 seconds. And then I increase week to week just by going out a little bit or going up to that black band. So increase by moving faster, moving more explosive, increasing the resistance before we even worry about hitting higher reps. Eventually, once you've maxed out the resistance, now you can start to go a little bit higher in the reps, and then we'll build a little more explosive capacity so that we can actually do it over a longer period of time. Now, the second part of this exercise is optional, but a lot of times I do a contrast. So that's got me revved up, fast twitch fibers, nervous system, we are firing. Now I want to go no resistance and I want to mimic that same movement. I'm a basketball guy, so I'm going to pretend like I have a ball or actually grab a ball. And I'm going to get into my lateral drag, and then I just start to build a little bit of distance with it, right? And then I can start going to different heights, so I go back to that floor touch. All right, so a lot of different ways to do that. Your tennis player is thinking here, right? Or you can switch that pattern and go to straight lateral hops, right? And then of course, with the floor touch. So for that contrast set, I could do another 8 to 12 seconds there, full recovery, and then I'm going back in for my second set. All right, so we just got our lateral and rotational change of direction. Now we're gonna go linear change of direction. I like a black band for this, but this is a good opportunity to show you the scalability of even just the gray one. So you guys already know that to get more tension, I just scoot further out, but also, instead of looping it through itself, I could put it around my pole and then take it like this, okay? So now I have an opening, it's double the resistance. Haha, a lot of you guys didn't know we could do that with the PJF band, and because it's so long, I could still step back and have room for activities. I have so much tension here. So I could do my linear stuff here with way more resistance. Not a lot of you guys are ready for that, so go through your progressions, but that's like final boss level. And then final boss level would be doing that with the black band. So anyways, we're taking our band typically around knee height, somewhere below hip height is good here. Step back, start with some light tension, then we'll gradually move back as we get better. So I'm starting with my right leg back and I'm landing in a partial lunge, all right? Kind of like a half squat position. And first one, I want to go with the stick, okay? As I get better with the stick and I'm going, all right, mechanics looks good, my knee's not caving in, I have no knee pain. Now I can take away the stick and try to bounce out of that position a little bit quicker, all right? So the quicker I can get through that point of reversal, the more force is going to be placed on my muscles, especially on those quads, even the soleus, a little bit of ant-tib. So I would go 2 to 3 sets, anywhere from maybe 6 to 12 reps, and then I can start to bring it back a little bit further and take a bigger step, boom, and then really stride and decrease the amount of load on that back leg. So on that first variation, I'm kind of sharing. I might be 70% here, 30% of my weight here. But as I get better, I want to get down to like 10% on that back leg and 90% on that front leg. So that's an easy way to progress it. I'd get back here, really start with a negative shin angle and really let this pull me in, boom, and then decelerate it nice and quick. Of course, you could start with a stick until you're comfortable, then get into that rapid reversal. If you do that the right way, it feels like I'm about to get stuck in quicksand. Like it's so much force that I'm about to get stuck and not be able to get out, but then I power my way out. Now, if your mechanics look bad, you're doing this and compensating, knees caving in, torso's dropping forward, that's too much resistance. But as long as you can make it look good, I do want to feel like I'm getting stuck in quicksand for a second, and then I overcome that resistance and push out. Now, as soon as I get out of there, I could do linear decels. So let's say maybe a 5-yard acceleration and then decel, right? If I'm a basketball player, I'm thinking outside foot stops, boom, outside foot stops. So I could go a couple sets, maybe 2 to 3 sets there as a back off, and I could just do like 4 repetitions without the band. All right, and then our next one, we're actually gonna go one more linear, but this is a progression to the last one. So the last one I was on 2 legs, now I'm going to a single leg, hop and stick, all right? So most of you guys would probably go gray band, but you could go black, just start it nice and close. But I'm here, right leg, I'm hopping forward, bending that knee, bending forward, so chest is going down towards the floor a little bit, and then I'm gonna hop back. So I'm quick, and then I stick. So I'm high and quick, low and stick, and I'm hopping that foot forward. I'm trying to hold for about 1 second before I get out of that position. Now I can challenge that by going deeper with that depth so I can get nice and low. Sometimes balance is the limiting factor. I can actually hold on right here, and that provides me with a little more balance. So I'm here, and now I can start to work on getting a little bit lower. All right, then I can, once I get really good at that, I can take away the stick, and now I'm getting in and out of those cuts nice and quick. So boom, I'm just in and out. I'm still low to high, low to high, low to high, and my quad, my glute, my soleus is already on fire. That one is an absolute monster. Then I can step out and I can actually do it with no resistance. Or if I want to go more sport specific, I could go back into like stabilized jump shot, so I can go into boom, slow step, get up and hit my jump shot. I can just do, again, same side stops. So whatever type of linear contrast you want to throw in without the band afterwards, you're free to do that. Sometimes their quad and glute is burning so bad that I don't do a contrast set on that one, and I just let them rest. As for sets and reps, again, tough to give to you. We do have a full band program that I would check out in our band exercise database. But generally, again, 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 seconds is a good starting place. Okay, and then number 4 for the change of direction series is changing directions from backwards to forwards. So we already did lateral, rotational, multiple linear, and now we got to change directions moving backwards to forwards, okay? So the number one way that we would change directions here is actually a posterior lateral, which some would call a T-step. So if I'm backpedaling here, boom, turnover, I got to go the other way. I would actually just open up and point the toe out, because then you can load with the hip. Compared to being here and just going with that negative step, it's a lot of stress on the Achilles. We do have to prepare for that negative step because it's inevitable. Yes, I said it's inevitable. I've done the studies on NBA players, brought them into the lab, and I've realized that it's way faster. Like if I get it out of triple threat, it's faster to initiate with that negative step because we're trading inches for angles. I get shin angles, I get body angles from that. And so it's way faster. So if it's faster, you're gonna use it one way or another. So you might as well just prepare for it. So what I'm gonna do is get the band around my waist, step forward and get some tension, and I'm just gonna open up, okay? And I'm gonna point the toe out, load into that hip, and then push back. I'm full extension, this band is pulling me back, and then I open up to that other side, all right? So all I'm gonna do is just here to here. I want a full foot contact, so I'm not trying to stay on the ball of the foot. Less surface area, less stability, more chance for ankle sprains. So I want a full foot contact and play with different depths. Some of them are right here, some of them are here. All right, so that's the T step. I could normally do a couple sets there, and then I'll do a couple sets of the negative step, because again, like for a basketball player out of triple threat, I can't open up into a T-step. I'm gonna be here with that negative step. So now I want the toes forward, and I wanna keep a good, stiff, active foot. I don't want the heel to collapse back. So I could just start here, right? Barely lifting this foot up while I put this foot back. I'm light, and then I can start to produce a little bit more force with it. And I can start to go kind of an actual negative where I'm here, and I push out here and push out. All right, so this has to be a gradual transition because it's more of a dangerous position on that Achilles. And then for my contrast set, I could go like back pedal 5 yards and then T-step. So I'm here, boom, T-step, get out, sprint it out. Repeat it on the other side. And then I could just go negative steps. So I could just go here out of, say, a trigger step or out of a pump fake. So a trigger step would be like lateral float, boom, and then go. So then I'm just pushing 5 yards, right? So I'm here, boom, and push out. I could do one of those right, one of those left, take my time, and then come back to my band exercise. You might not do the T-step and the negative step all in one day. Maybe you do these on alternate sessions, but at some point you want to include both of those so that we're prepared for either the T-step or the negative step come game time. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for today's workout. Make sure you guys DM me. Let me know how these exercises are treating you. Let me know the gains that you guys are getting. I love to stay updated with what you guys are doing. Make sure that you guys check out the PJF bands and the band exercise database. We have over 100 exercises just like that and a 6-week program. So when it comes to the sets and reps and progressions, we got all that. It's $20. Is literally the price of a Chipotle burrito. You could go get a Chipotle burrito, or you could have exercises for the rest of your life for hip mobility, vertical jump, change of direction, full body strength, full body integration. So there's so many great exercises and like I said, the full program on there already. So go check that out. Until next time, I'm out.